SNA assassinators again. Hope y'all didn't win anywhere. 20 seconds later, Super Ninja Austin back here with another video. This time for AEW on Rampage. And yeah, this AEW Rampage was pretty decent. Like nothing out of the ordinary, like always, like every single week. Like unless it's like a special, like whether if it's like a Royal Rampage or a go home show on the biggest pay-per-view, maybe like next week will be something special, like a couple of days before the biggest event of the year. But yeah, we got the show starting off with, it was Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, and the Pitbull Tomohiro Ishii. And this is where they were fighting. I believe they're called the Conglomeration, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this is where the congregation is here tonight. Like, rah. This is where they start barking right onto the Shivani and what's his name? Matt Menard, that's like full-time, I guess, on the AEW commentary team. But yeah, this is where you got the match starting off with it was Mark Briscoe versus versus one of the there was the Butcher with the Outrunners. This was start off with Butcher and Briscoe, with him getting the first offense in, kick him right in the gut. This is where he tried to, what move was it? It was this is where he tried to Irish whip him to the left side. That's what he did after he kicked him right in the gut, threw him right to the left side, tried to go for a clothesline. But this is where we got Mark Briscoe hit a chop right into the chest. This is where we got him doing repeatedly, and this is where he then hit the right forearm right to the face. This is where then he This is where he didn't send him right to the left side. This is where he tried to go for the right, but this is where we got the Butcher then try to run right into this is where he tried to get catch Mark Brooks to go, try to hit him with whatever maneuver. But this is where he gets this is where then we got this is where we got Mark Briscoe then hit him with a flying forearm right to the face. This is where we got this is where one of the Outrunners, like I totally forgot their names. I searched it up, but I did it again. Somebody better call Britney Spears. But this is where I totally forgot the Outrunners' name. This is where I believe it was the smaller one to try to whack Mark Briscoe with a clothesline around, but this is where Mark Briscoe ducks until he got right into the bottom right side. This is where he tags in. The big Outrunner tags himself in the ring. This is where tags in the match, I should say, and become the legal man. This is where we got Mark Briscoe hit the right hand right to his face. This is where he tried to do the same onto the other Outrunner. This is where he started going for a punch, chop, and start chopping, which earned him like a number one spot onto Gunther's MVS. This is where he hits a big kung fu cut right into the smaller guy. The little guy, the smaller guy, this is where it's a discus forearm to the following up. But this is where they look at the legal one, like which was the bigger one. Is where the Outrunner try to go for a back to belly maneuver right onto Mark Briscoe. But this is where Tomohiro Ishii tags himself when he backs up right onto the Outrunner. Like once he countered and hit a back to belly maneuver onto him. This is where Tomohiro Ishii then hit a knife edge chop right into the chest, like about a couple of times. Earned himself the second place spot on Gunther's MVS. I don't know who this no name is, but you better hope that he stays in All Elite Wrestling, or else he's gonna get a taste as well from the King Janelle. Or what you would say, like with his Austrian accent. This is where the double Irish whipped him right into the top corner. This is where they go for a double hip toss right onto on the bigger Outrunner member. But this is where at first they stopped themselves and delayed, because this is where the small guy tried to attack, but this is where they flipped him right over with his own teammate. This is where they finally hit the double hip toss onto the bigger member. This is where we got Orange Cassidy then try to join into this little muscular club, like showing out their physique. Like they've been working out very hard. I can see that. Even though Orange Cassidy's in a smaller side, but he still has some guns. Like if he shows them off, he looks very impressive. But anyway, this is where he put his hands in his pocket. Tomohiro Ishii and Mark Briscoe had a double shoulder tackle to knock down the Butcher. This is where they were like, let's continue this momentum. This is where fans are like, let's go, Tomohiro, clap, cheering on Tomohiro Ishii. This is where he picks up the the outrunner, the outrunner member. This is where he hit the forearm right to the big guy. But this is where he's like, "What you?" This is where he slapped him across the face. He's like, "And that's all you got?" Like that's a little biscuit, iced tea, chicken hot cake move. This is where he didn't. But once he tried to go for it again, this is where he was like, okay, like I gotta admit, like you were impressive. This is where he walked towards him slowly. This is where the outrunner was like, no. Like I was just messing with you. Like it's the friendly slap, and this is where he was like, oh, I bet you were. Like, let me return you the favor. This is where he slapped him right across his chest. This is where he's like, I know, like I think I'm good. And he's like, what? Like if you slap me, like I slap you back. Like that's only fair. Like even Steven. Like even as a guy named Steven, let me rephrase that. This is where we got what's his name? Tomohiro then tags in Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe then start going for a stomp right onto the midsection. Then the Ring of Honor World Champion picks up the outrunner. Like this is where he side Russian leg sweep him. This is where he goes for a pin. This is where the smaller member then try to stop him, but this is where he was too late. This is where then we got Mark Briscoe goes for the Iceman shove. This is where we got he's going to start hitting some right hands to the back of the big outrunner member. This is where we got Mark Briscoe hit the elbow strike right into the face. This is where we got this big outrunner member to knee him right to the midsection. This is where we got him to try to reach out to his tag partner, which he finally did. This is where their female member that was in ringside with him, which I believe her name was Kayla Lee, I believe that's what her name is, because she wrestled tonight. That's how I knew. But this is where we got Mark Briscoe was thrown by the big member to the small, but this is where he hits a right hand to the small guy. This is where we got the Butcher, however, to trip him right underneath him. When he had his back turned, he slams him back first right onto the barricade of Barry's tombstone. This is where then he hits a back suplex followed up with pulling a Randy Orton on him. This is where they start choking onto Mark Briscoe, throws him right into back in the ring. This is where he starts stomping on him. This is where we got Mark Briscoe. Butcher threw Mark Briscoe right to the corner and started stomping on him and do like a 3-on-1 disadvantage onto the current Ring of Honor champion. This is where he managed to get back on his feet, tags in the freshly squeezed Orange wrestler. This is where he started making a comeback. And speaking of Orange, well, you already know if it's not already obvious, but it's where we got Orange Cassidy then threw a chair right onto Mark Briscoe. It looked like he was about to use it for a weapon. He's like, I got the chair. And this is where the fans were like, yeah, like we all know what he's doing. He's not going to use it as a weapon. Like, and this is where the referee's like, what are you doing? Like, you're not supposed to have a possession of that. This is where Mark Briscoe didn't try to calm down. The referee's like, yo, relax, man. Like, I'm not going to use it on the wrestler. I'm going to use it as my stepping stone. Like, if you know what I mean, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But this is where we got the Butcher, then kicks him right to get to stop him. Looked like he kicked him right where it hurts the most, and that's the family jewels. And I was like, luckily he's already a father and husband, because yeah, that's not going to be easy for the Briscoe family for a little while. But yeah, this is where we got the Butcher to try to go for a powerbomb. This referee's like, yo, you can't do. And this is where AEW's rules might have either changed or they've already been what's that different than WWE's, because like there's like if he used that chair, like the commentators, including Matt Menard, he was like, if he used it, like then he gets disqualified. But fortunately that did not happen. Nor that was the plan, I should say. Yeah, and this is where we got Orange Cassidy then sat on that chair backwards. This is where he's like, hello, like, what y'all up to? And this is where we got Mark Briscoe hit that big right underhook. And this is where Orange Cassidy did hit an orange punch, the same move that he'll never hit me with. And you probably will be seeing me could get into inside the ropes. I'm just hoping that will be the case in the near future, like so I can have dream matches with the likes of the freshly squeezed Orange. But for now, I'm going to keep mentioning this until I get to that point. But let's hope I can do like an angle. Like if I do get into that point, I I pitch an idea of Orange Cassidy always attempts to try to go for an orange punch, like how Tommaso Ciampa does with Randy Orton of doing an RKO out of nowhere on him on his little vlog on Instagram or what's it, Twitter. Either way, let me know in the comments below. When you try to go for a move, I always move out of the way. But this time, I know that he's trying to do it, and I no sell it like by just moving out of the way, like boom, like either ducking, walking away, like if I'm Samoa Joe doing a nope spot, But yeah, this is where he hits the orange punch onto the Butcher. This is where we got the what's his name? Mark Briscoe did finish what he started, like by placing that chair and using it as the stepping stool, which he finally did on the Outrunners. This is where he started shaking the ropes like he's like Briscoe Mania. This is where they finish him off with Mark Briscoe. Then what he hit? It was a maneuver that it was a what was it in particular? It was that double underhook maneuver. It was the pile driver, that double underhook pile driver, the driller that got him the one. That got him and his team the 1, 2, 3 in the winner of this match. Orange Cassidy, Tomohiro Ishii, and Mark Briscoe. What's that? The congregation. Right, the congregation, or something like that. Yeah. But this is where we got Nyla Rose that came out immediately as soon as the baby faces left, and this is where the Outrunners Kayla Lee had to face her. This is where I kind of felt bad for her because this is where Kayla Lee was about the change of mind. This is where but the Outrunners pushed her right into Nyla Rose, the native beast herself. I should rephrase that. And it's where she's like, oh, like you look, and she was like, oh, you look very beautiful. Your hair and your gear, just as long as it, how about we shake off and we just forget that you even had a match against me and you find somebody else to fight. And this is where she was about to walk away. This is where she's like, I don't want to have nothing to do. This is where she got turned around by her hair being pulled by the native beast. This is where she turned her around. This is where she she Irish whip him to the right side. This is where she hit her with a side, like some kind of a sidewalk back power slam, like flipping her right up and slamming her backward, and follow that up with a senton by running to the top corner ropes. This is where Nyla Rose she was like she shouldn't have asked for this fight if she wasn't ready. Like this is where then we got the biggest. The biggest member of the Outrunners started talking sugar honey iced tea on to Nyla Rose. He's like, you gotta do that to her, like not on my watch. And how about I give you a show for you? Like how about I show you how intimidating, how really the mean intimidating is, and by showing you my intimidating biceps. And this is where he starts showing it. But this is where we got Nyla Rose like that is not nothing compared to me. Like that's like a 5-pound weight when it comes to my strength. He was like what now? And this is where the Outrunner was taking it back. He's like, yeah, I think I see what you mean. And this is where he's like, you know what? Like I'm gonna get out of your hair. This is where then he start going down. This is where, and this is where he's like, yeah. And this is where Nyla was like, yeah, you keep on stepping. You keep on stepping, Hogan, and this is where then she turned around, I'm not sure if she forgot that she was in the match, but this is where it gave enough time for Kaylee Lee. Kaylee Lee with an L, then hit a double missile drop kick right into the face. Or not face, actually the midsection, sitting right to the upper right corner turnbuckle. But she ends up getting booted right into the face when she tried to go for a splash. But ends up and also eating crossbody on top of that. Nyla Rose go for a spinning elbow strike. Nyla Rose then scream up right in the air. This is where she goes for her finishing powerbomb maneuver to get the easy 1, 2, 3. Winner of this match, Nyla Rose. Well, this is where we got Nick Wayne then was in a match next against Kip Sabian, a guy that won't get out of his hair soon. Get out of his head anytime soon, but it seemed like it could be soon as tonight's AEW Rampage. But before I believe we get into that, this is where we got a little bit of teaser here with Saraya, because once she got in the ring, cut a promo, it seemed like she was very irritated when every time Harley Cameron spoke, but she didn't really show it, only just when she reminded her that she's the one with the microphone and she's the one talking. So give her time to speak. And this is where she did so, but she always she always confirms that what word she's saying is absolutely what's that backed up. And I think it was literally and kind of metaphorically, but more likely to literally. Because what I mean by saying that, because every time when she speaks, she always either repeats her or always try to clarify what Saraya is saying, and for those that are unaware of what she's saying on the promo. Like if she's like a AEW female version of John Morrison, like when he was that name in WWE, when he was teaming with The Miz. Like in his time a few years ago, like in his second run. Like I believe which was like in 2021. Then she was kind of doing this right here, but but the thing is, like Saraya was getting a bit irritated about. But that's where we got. That's where then we got. But before we got into that, this is where we got. Harley Cameron was about to hilariously sing the Happy Birthday song, but luckily that did not happen because Saraya. And this is where then she confirmed that she was not in the mood. She was like, not now. And this is where Harley Cameron was like, oh, okay, like, I understand. Okay, like, yeah, I'm not in the mood either. Like, she started going wild, like she normally do. I was like, where? And this is where she was like, this is where Saraya was like, we're not going to be waiting no longer. And then this is where, I think about to say Mariah, man. I mean, Harley Cameron's like, we shall not. And then this is where she's like, yeah, like, and I'm not gonna be overshadowed no longer. Like in my home country of England, I want the AEW Women's World Championship, the title that I won last week. And this is where then Harley Cameron confirmed that she's gonna be victorious by saying victory. And this is where then Saraya's like, okay, like yeah, and then I started my reign as the unproblematic icon. The unproblematic icon, and this is where she was like, no problem. And this is where Saraya's like, she was like, stop screaming in my ear, Harley. Like, I'm trying to speak here. And this is where then she's like, okay, fans. Anyway, and then I lost the championship, and I never got a bloody rematch. Right away after I lost that title, and this is where then. And this is where then Harley was like, that was outrageous. And this is where then Saraya's like, yeah, outrageous. And this is what she's like, and then like I lost some friends, like, and this is where she's like, loser. And this is where then Saraya's like, I don't say loser. Like, but anyway, this is where fans start laughing like they're watching a funny sitcom. This is where Saraya was like, and I've been missing pay-per-views and shows all together. And it's just like, and this is where then Harley Cameron was like, yeah, she was absolutely neglected in this company. This is where the Saraya was like, yeah, and I showed everything that I was worthy of being on either of them, like, and they just completely ignored me and wasted me, and they barely gave me some time here on Rampage. And that's where then she was like streaming, like, and that's where then she told like to stream now on AEW Dynamite on TBS app. This is where then Saraya hilariously then said, "Stop it!" Like you're already being being a little bit annoying right now, as is with your hyping, clarifying. What's that? With your clarifying words, like with you shouting it out in my ear, which I'm getting seriously annoyed of. And this is where she was like, and then now the management wants me to. They do not want to put me on All In this year. Like after I had a very successful run on last year's, like somebody should get fired for that. And this is where then. And this is where then Harley Cameron said, yeah, that's really unacceptable. And this is where then Saraya was like, you know what else is unacceptable, Mariah? I'm not Mariah. I mean, Harley. I'm going to keep calling Harley Mariah. It's where she starts staring at her, giving her that look like if we're going to see like some sort of a betrayal or a breakup, wherever you put it. This is where before she can even say what's unacceptable, like in the ring, this is where she got interrupted by the current AEW Women's World Champion. I was like, I hope this don't turn into a triple threat match, but luckily it didn't, because Timeless Tony Storm just easily handed her a shot at the AEW Women's Championship at this coming Wednesday on AEW Dynamite. I was like, wow, like, are you? This is where she started calling her he called her some fancy words of very special women, I guess you could put it. Then when Thomas Tony Storm was like, hello. He's like, this whore that you all adore. And then she also stated like this slut that you can't rebut is this tramp is still the chump by coming up with every word for special women to get this name like and use it as a rhyme and something good. I was like, man, this is this is why she's the one of a kind champ like in AEW, I guess you could say. Again, I was like, I don't know where she even came up with these phrases to say. That's where then she got the point and just say, I'm about to fight for my life against Mariah May, like a monster of my own creation that I created like almost about 12 months ago. And I think I blame some of it from you, Soraya. And this is where then then she got to the point like when she had her attention, like. And she was like 4 days before I fight Mariah, like I'm good, like I'm. And then she was like, and I know, like, and I never forget what we've been through, like, from the last 12 months. Like, and how you turned into the pastiest pile of sugar honey iced tea, TITs that I've ever seen. I was like, she really just said that, and she did not just say it like TITs, but she said TITTIES. Like she said the full name of the female cleavage. I was like, wow, like she really said that without being censored. Like she got censored by saying the sugar honey iced tea word, but not that word. Like, ain't that kind of a bad word? Like just saying, like, even though like for some reason TNT approved this, but this word we got and this is where but anyway, this is where got Tony Storm was like, you want this title? Like, do you really want like all in? Wow. Like, happy birthday, Soraya. And I believe that it really is Soraya's birthday, and happy birthday to her. But just give me for a moment. Yeah. Here you go. Come on. Here you go. But anyways, assassinators. But yeah, happy birthday to Soraya. But this is where we got this is where we got Thomas Tony Storm. But this Wednesday on Dynamite, like you will, if you beat me, you can have it all at All In. And this is where then we got a Harley Cameron start called like, congratulations, girl. This is where Soraya was like Tony, like you're really gonna do this, like. We have been really friends from the long time, baby gal. Like, and the reason is, like, because it is what she was like, and that's because you're a stupid slut, or something like that. And this is where then she was yeah, like you think that's gonna insult me? Like I already called myself that, so I come up with better insult names for now on, like because you are very terrible when it comes to choosing your words in this manner, and this where then you like, and this Wednesday, you bet your ass that I'm gonna beat you and become the new women's champion. And this where the Thomas Tony Storm was like, darling, you're gonna be needing to get a bigger foot of trying to kick its tush or something like that. And this where she's like, but in the meantime, I'm putting my chin up and then TIT's out and watch for the shoes. You get the point. Like this never gets old. With this catchphrase, like yeah. And this is where that she was like, bye-bye, my darling. And this is where that she leave with her music. And this is where, but yeah, when she said the phrase, she took off her robe, but luckily her TITs wasn't bare. Like, much rather than being, she still had her bra on, but it's just hilariously inappropriate for her to do that. Even if she didn't really show them out. Like, thank goodness that she didn't. Like, none of us are Juice Robinson. Like, and yeah, and for and those scurvy pervies that are on Twitter and what's the other one, Reddit, like talking about their obsessions with these wrestlers, talking about these inappropriate parts about them. But yeah, we're gonna move on to the next slide. But yeah, this was very shocking. I was not expecting Thomas Tony Storm doing an open challenge, like how who did this before? It was that just gave out an opportunity before the pay-per-view. I don't know, like, but I'll probably remember later. But yeah, let me know in the comments below. We all know it's gonna be Thomas Tony Storm, and then they're gonna continue the feud, and then we're gonna see who's gonna walk out of Wembley Stadium with it all. But do you really think Sarai's gonna win? And if so, do you think she's gonna feast Mariah May? We're gonna have to wait and see. I think she is, because she won the Owen Hart tournament. Like, why else not? She's going to be there, but gonna be there for that championship. Try to take everything that the Storm has. But we're gonna move on. We got the Acclaim to talk about next. And that's where then. And this is where it is like, this coming Wednesday at Clemson, we're going to beat you, and we're going to finally win those titles, and then you're going to stay out of our way. And if not, like, we got a plan to make sure that you won't be at all at Wembley, like if it's not good enough for you. Like, and that's where it was like, and then he's like, and you actually need us more than we need you, Dax and Cash. And that's a mic drop, like, peace out or something like that. This is where then we got Anthony Bowens is like, we told you guys that we to stay out of our way, especially when it comes to the AEW Tag Team Championship. Like, you just couldn't have you shouldn't have just butt out for just one night for one simple match. Like, we could have easily won, and easily could have defended our titles against you next. Like how Christopher Daniels said this past Wednesday, like, they're gonna automatically make you the next #1 contenders at All In. Like, but that wasn't enough for you. Like, you just had to put your nose where it don't belong, and you had to easily help. Easily help Matthew and Nicholas retain, like, Matthew, I believe, spat you right into the face, Uncle Dax. Like, you just had to let your anger get the better of you. Like, and he's like, and this is where it is that, like, and we're gonna beat you guys, and we're gonna get a shot at the Young Bucks again, and you better not try to screw us out in our title shot again. Like, so you better nut up or shut up. His words, not mine. And he's like, we'll see your biscuit, iced tea, chicken, hotcakes, like at hotcakes at tomorrow night's Collision. And this is where then Billy Gunn would step in. This is where he's like, and top guys out. And I was dying with laughter. I was like, who did not just say that? And he just did. And this is where the Max Captain is like, yeah, peace out. This is where then we got Nick Wayne then taking on what's his name? Kip Sabian. This match was pretty good. And them going back and forth, like seeing who is going to be the alpha male of the night, I guess you could put it. But then good technical one another. But once we got Kip Sabian Irish whipping Nick Wayne right into the right side, he springboards go leaping dodge. I was like, I hope he did not bootleg that from Sami Zayn, or else he probably put some cease and dismissal papers onto his doorstep, like wherever his location is, or whatever wrestling training facility he had his mail get delivered into. Like if he has a mailbox there, I guess you could say. But this is where we got Nick Wayne then hit a German suplex. This is where then he got back up. He was like, yeah, like I got him right where I want him. This is where then what's his name? Kip Sabian pat him on the back, or what's that? Poke him in the back. It was like, oh, really? Like, have you? And this is where he hits a exploder dragon suplex of his own. This is where Kip Sabian's like, come on, fans. Like, even though we don't have a very positive relationship before, but things can change, right? And this is where fans like, hell yeah, like take them down, especially if you're taking care of a very taking care of a a snob-nosed kid like him or something like that, or I don't know what insults they were calling him. But it's where he goes for a springboard crossbody, but he gets end up with a pop-up cutter out of nowhere, trying to take a page out of the Vipers playbook. Like I was like, it's already enough that one person that already did that tonight with the back suplex. Now you're trying to do it by hitting his cutter maneuver out of nowhere on the flying position. But even though he's not the inventor of that, but he's the inventor of the name of it. But that's where we got Nick Wayne to hit that double underhook DDT to try to seal the deal, but nothing was not easily putting away the British Star. That's where he gets the right shoulder up at the last second. And this is where then Nick Wayne was like, "There's no way that he kicked out of that." This is where the Nick Wayne was like, don't let him intimidate you. Beat that weirdo up. Like that's what his mother said, Shayna Wayne. He was like make the patriarchy proud. This is when the Nick Wayne was like, what? Like he did not just kicked out. He's like, are you sure that was 2? And this is where the referee clarified it indeed was 2. This is where he was like, okay, I'm gonna try again. This is where then he tried to go for that springboard turnbuckle cutter, but this is where we got Kip Sabian to try to go for that reverse. That reverse fireman's carry. This is where he was about to dump him on his head, but once he was about to hit the maneuver, and this is where Shayna Wayne then skirting her instigating stealth right onto the right corner on the apron. This is where then she was trying to come in like you shouldn't have him to do that. You shouldn't have him grab onto my son like that and start bending him sideways like that. He could break his torso bone and his spine bone altogether if you allow this. If you allow this, what's that? Excuse me. If you forget this, if you let this non-forgiving demon let him do whatever he wants to my baby boy that I gave birth to, like he's the prodigy for a reason. And this is where I forgot to tell you that once they were in the ring, outside the ring, when Kip Sabian hit the suicide dive on Nick Wayne, she was trying to scare him away. This is where she starts stepping back. He's like, "Yeah, get away from me." This is where he's like, "You do not hit my son in the ring post. Like that's completely dangerous." Like blah blah blah, trying to be an overprotective mother to her son, like every protective parent would do to their kid. But yeah, whether if it's in wrestling or in another extremely dangerous sport, like they will be very supportive about the kid and be overly concerned about their well-being. But here we got this is where we got her scathy, brainwashing self right onto the apron. Started trying to talk to the referee. The referee's like, get your feet right off the apron right now, this instant, lady. And this is where then we got Nick Wayne flipped right out of it because Kip Sabian was distracted by his mother. This is where he flipped and he got pushed right onto the kill switch. He headbutts Kip Sabian right into the head. This is where Nick Wayne then springboard right onto the bottom corner middle turnbuckle. Hits that Wayne's World maneuver. This is where he goes for the pin. He gets the 1, 2, 3. Took care of this Kip Sabian problem, or did he? Because I wouldn't put past that he could see him like again. I should say like it could be at. Perhaps in his home country, and you know where that could possibly be. Or you know where that could possibly be, and that is, well, looks like we're going to have to wait until the next 9 days. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below about this. But this is where we got Christian Cage, thought he got the job. It looks like he might have at this time, but Christian Cage like, oh, that's my boy. Like, yes. But this is where we got Scorpio Sky then next was right in front of the camera, right into this little like in this club, like just outside of the club. This is where he's like it is where then he's told the guys in the cameras like it may be a private party, but it's always a party when when Scorpio's around or something like that is where then he went right in. This where then the club bouncer was like, "You're not invited, Scorpio." This where Scorpio Sky's like, "What the hell you mean I'm not invited? Like, I checked the list, like our names on. This where the and that's where he's all. And that's where this where you let but this where you allow the EVP's butler Brandon Cutler in with a few ladies in, like this where they got in so easily. This is where Scorpio's guy's like, oh, you're allowing this dork in but not me. And this where he's like, well, his name's on the list, like according to the EVPs he's on the VIP list actually. And this is where then he's like Scorpio Sky, like I'm like somebody must have invited me in, like, but he's like unless if you don't like me, if you think that you're so tough and you think that you're better than me, like and he's like, and you're not, and are you sure that and he's like, and are you sure that my like you think like unless you're just doing this because you don't like me for some reason, like I don't know what's like are you sure that my name, the first ever one half of the AEW Tag Team Champions, is not on that list? And then this is where he rechecks. He's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's no Scorpio. And he's like, and I'm a two-time TNT Championship on top of that. He start arguing with the bouncer, but luckily Private Party was there. This is where he's like, hey, whoa, like he's like, whoa, Scorp, like, geez, like, yeah, you are invited. Like, I understand, like, your name was not on the list, like, but welcome on in, like, gee. And this is where he started telling this their bodyguard, the club bouncer, his name was Cheese, I believe. I was dying with laughter because this was also Goofy Wrestling. This ties with the Soraya segment. Soraya's Soraya and what's his name? Isaiah Cassidy are definitely getting the number one Goofy Wrestling of the night. But this is where he's like, yeah, come on, let him in. Like this is where the like, and this is where the Isaac Captain like, yeah, you got it, like Scorp. And this is where he's like, I thought so. This is where then Mark Quinn's like, yeah, you already know. And this is where they got in the club. This is where he gave a nod mug right into the bouncer's face. This is where like the bodyguard bouncer was about to attack, but this is where luckily Mark Quinn was there. It's like, whoa, like everything's all good, like yeah, like I'm. Like everything, like we all good, like right. And this where then the bouncer was like, yeah, at least I think we are. This where, but this is where we got a tag team contest, a squash tag team bout, which was featured with Kyle Fletcher and the newest member of the Don Callis family, Bruce. Like in this match, like this is where they took on what's their names? It was KM and Reth Titus, I believe. It was KM and Reth Titus, yeah. But yeah, I'm not gonna waste none of your time. Like, just get to the point with Kyle Fletcher tossing around Reith Titus around, and he sent him right to the upper left side, and then he tags him Rouge. He Irish whip him diagonally right to the bottom right side. Started some knife edge chops, which he was almost at the number one spot, but he was only at number two with the referee counting like, hey, like he's hanging on to this side of the rope, so they'll let him go like 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is where Rouge is like, okay, like you don't have to remind me. This is where the double foot stomp him, start booting him right to his face. This is where we got Rooston to hit the double knees right to the face. Not double knee, double feet right into the face. The double drop kick. I'm going to say he got a 1, 2, 3. Winner of this match, the Don Callis family won. They stand up tall. And one thing, and that's all what happened, basically. Just getting short, sweet, to the point on why they're out here. AEW Rampage being the C show rather than being the B show no more. But let me know what your thoughts onto this match that didn't even last 2 minutes. Let me know in the comments. But let's get into the main event match, which was Top Flight taking on MXM, which is Dante Martin and Darius Martin, taking on the team of Mansoor and Mason Madden. But let me know, for those fans that watched it, like in the comments below, what was your take? I will give it the number one best match of the night, which I'll give I'll say the second place to the what's that? The name of the team? It was what's the name? the con no the con the con the congregation, I believe con the congregation, I believe that's what they're pronounced, like against the Outrunners and the Butcher. That's second place. Third place goes to Nick Wayne versus Kip Sabian, which things have been put to rest for now. But yeah, we got a massive, interesting main event, which start off with Dante Martin and Mansoor. With Mansoor starting off with Dante Martin's arms or wrist locking until we got Dante Martin go for roll hand a kip up. This is where then he what's that arm dragged him. This is where he dodged out of his clothesline. This is where he runs right into, but this run right to the left side corner. But this is where we got Mansoor outsmarting him. This is where he shoulder tackle him, caught him right in the middle of the ring. This is where he started doing his modeling dance, like in the pose, like he normally do. This is where he's like, yeah, like courtesy to the MXM. This is where then he went right to the left side. This is where we got Dante Martin and duck leap, but once he leap, right after, once after he leaped right over, what's his name, Mansoor. This is where he shoves him right to the left side, where he did. I believe he arm slams him. This is where, but he gets kicked right to the head once he tries to pick him back up. This is where Dante Martin was he ducks out of the clothesline. This is where he flapjacks him. This is where Dante Martin then walked right over him. This is where we got Dante Martin hilariously did his pose, like doing nodding his head. This is where then he tags in and he did the neck crank. This is where the Mansoor then found this very extremely insulting and disrespectful. And that's where he's like, "How dare you?" And this is where he's like, "How dare you do such a mockery?" It was loudest and more intimidating. And this is where Gunther was like you forgetting where you come from. Like you're lucky you just left this company, like where I came from. Like otherwise, I'll do what I would have done, like if I ever got in the ring with you. And the next time if I see you, I'm gonna make sure to give you a reminder that you should never mock that dang general or something like that. Yeah. And this is where then he goes for. This is where we got Mace, then Irish Whip. What's his name? What's his name? Darius Martin of the Top Flight. This is where he goes for a spring and leaping dodge. This is where we got a leg spin around, drop right onto what's his name, onto Darius Martin, like if he was if he's a Black Big Show with some dreadlocks. Hopefully I didn't offend nobody. I mean, if I was being offensive, I would be kind of hypocritical considering right into the left. Mansoor went to the left side. This is where he hit the drop kick right in the face. This is where Mason hit a drop kick right on coming from the left side, while Mason was soon after him. This is where he hits a running hip attack right onto him following the dropkick of Mansoor. This is where they did their male models pose. This is where they do this. This is where then Mason went right back in the right side. This is where he flipped. This is where we got what's that called? What's that? A snap mirror right onto Darius Martin, but he gets right back up instantly. But this is where Mansoor tried to go for a suplex. Nothing was not bringing down the Top Flight member. This is where we got a Pele kick. This is where he gets face first right onto the turnbuckle. This is where he gets flipped right over right onto the top rope. He gets tagged in by what's his name? Dante Martin. This is where then we got what's the name? Dante Martin to hit a sliding clothesline. This is where we got Darius Martin go for a suplex, kip up, tags in Dante Martin, hits a springboard senton right back in the ring. This is where then he ducks out of a clothesline by Mace. This is where they pull down the rope, so he go over the ropes and go right on the left corner apron. This is where we got a little tribute to another certain fellow brother tag team that used to wrestle for AEW that could possibly be making their way back to the other company that's arch rivals with AEW. And that was the Poetry in Motion. Well, it was like a dropkick version, like with what's his name? Darius Martin pretending to be what's that called? A stepping stool, but she stepped right on his back, hit a drop kick right on the Mace. He tripped right over, right to the left side. This is where we got Layla Gray. That was not wait, was it Layla Gray? Yeah. This is where we got Layla Gray that was wearing a captain's hat that looked like some kind of what's that, like a very hot what's that, like captain of a cruise ship model, I guess you could say, with that captain's hat on and that outfit. Like if she was like she's in Navy or she was running a cruise ship, like by being the pilot, like or being a pilot of a plane or something like that, like a female pilot. Like it was very hilarious the way she was posing, like mocking the Maximo with the what's that brothers with the Martin brothers doing with her when they did a suicide dive onto the